Hello and welcome to Third Act Film. Today we're looking at the Oscars and trying to predict out of the main 6 categories who should win and who will probably win. Here with me is Todd James.
Hello.
Just to clarify on should, that's our personal preference. Who do we want to win? And then to clarify on will, that's, you know how the Oscars are.
If we have to put money on it, that's who we would go for.
Yeah, I mean, the Oscars, they pick certain people and certain films. I know people get annoyed by that.
And they have themes some years. Like, some themes play big some years.
Alright, so let's start with, we're going to try and work up. I mean, obviously, all Oscars are important.
Yeah.
And they're all very relevant.
Yes.
Winning an Oscar is an achievement.
Yeah, I mean, sound editing, big deal.
So we're starting with supporting actress.
Right.
Best supporting actress, although I think this is a tougher category than supporting actor this year, definitely.
Yeah, actually, yeah. In general, I think the female categories are a bit tougher, which is usually the other way around. But yeah.
I'll go first then.
Sure.
I'll go first with my should.
Please do.
Who I feel like should win is Alicia Vikander for...
I think you mean Alicia Vikander. That's also who I picked.
For Ex Machina.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
I've chosen for the Danish girl, but go, talk.
If you've done what I've done for Will as well...
Okay, we'll get onto it.
So just Ex Machina, she was fantastic. To be honest, she was main character. But... it's the studio decision as to who they define as the main character.
Yeah.
I feel as though that they'll put her forward for supporting because you have more, easier.
Yeah.
And it may get a nom for that film. So then when the DVD's circulating now, so they get more money that way. But she was fantastic. She held the whole film.
Mm-hmm.
The whole film had. If she wasn't as good as she was, it really pinned on her.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And that was my first real exposure to her. She's had an amazing year, hence why we've both picked her, but for different films.
Yeah, Testament of Youth as well, that came out last year.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I missed that as well. But she was in it.
Missed it. You were so desperate to go, you just missed it.
Yeah. Jon Snow in it.
Yeah, she's just had an amazing year in general. Deserves to be recognised for it. And yeah, just talking about Ex Machina. I should have chosen Ex Machina, actually, to be fair.
But
she made me believe she wasn't a robot. Spoilers, by the way, for Ex Machina. Oh, no, wait, it's in the
Wait a second, she is a robot.
She is a robot the whole time.
You see her the whole time.
You're right.
It's in the trailer that, she needs to... You need to believe that she's human, even though you can see that she's a robot.
Yeah. And it worked.
And it worked.
She was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say now for Will Win. I bet you've got the same one as me.
Yeah, no.
It's Rooney Mara for Carol.
Oh, right.
What have you picked?
Alicia Vikander for Danish girl.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Explain.
Well, Danish girl is a Oscar film.
Yeah, that's mainly why I picked that over Ex Machina. Yeah.
They love that.
Yeah.
And although I haven't seen Danish Girl yet, and I do see that there's more emotional range in the Danish Girl than there is in Ex Machina.
Yeah.
I feel like the challenge put forward to an actor was harder in Ex Machina than it is for Danish Girl.
Yeah, it's something you're less exposed to.
It's sci-fi. How many people do a role like that? No one. In this one, she's just got to be like, oh no, my husband's now a woman. How many films are like that? I mean,
it's funny you say that. Like I said at the start, a lot of times years have themes, and I kind of feel like the theme, if you like, or the big thing this year at the Oscars is, transgenderism. Would that be the word? Anyway, there's I feel like there's LGBT,
LGBTQ.
My apologies.
Yeah, go on.
That's like a big thing this year, and I think that will really help the Danish Girl
do well.
Yeah, and I think this year there isn't a clear standout to sweep the Oscars. And
no, there's no like Lord of the Rings this year.
So I feel like a lot of films will be, honoured in one way, and I feel like that could be a good one for her.
I do think this is going to be the most like diverse and split categories. Like,
but to quickly talk about my choice, Rooney Mara. I saw Carol, thought it was a boring film. But like I just said, I feel like the awards are going to be spread around quite a bit. and the Academy will want to honour Carol, and I feel like the most likely for that will be Rooney Mara.
Rooney Mara.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll discuss Carol a bit later.
Maybe we will.
Anyway,
Right.
moving on.
Yeah.
Supporting actor.
Okay, I'll go first.
Go on.
Should win Jeff Daniels.
Okay. What? Why? For
Okay,
what?
for Jobs.
Ah, right.
Right. And now,
I was thinking The Martian. He was pretty good in that.
Well,
as well.
equally, he could have been for The Martian. Now, anyone who listens to us regularly or reads the Third Act Film website knows how much I love Jobs, and one of the biggest things in it was him and he had an amazing story arc in what was essentially 3 scenes. He went, oh man, to think about this
Is that
guy.
similar to The Martian in that he didn't. Oh, okay. No, sorry.
No,
sorry,
it's
ignore
not.
me.
Right. And he, it's just amazing to think that this guy, as an actor, 20 years ago, he was dumber
Yeah.
in Dumb and Dumber, and now he's giving what, in my opinion, is one of the best performances of the year.
Well, everyone's taking him seriously now, aren't they?
Yeah.
He did. I forgot the name of it. He did some
Newsroom.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Newsroom, and that's really got everyone's attention, and he does it very well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who do you think should win?
Should win Benicio del Toro for Sicario
That is a surprise to me.
because he absolutely killed that film.
That scene where he was sleeping was especially good.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
with avoiding spoilers for Sicario, that this guy who I'm not even sure if he features in the trailer. Maybe there's one shot of him with his
you might have
glasses
seen him
on.
sitting in a car.
You might have seen him sitting in a car. Completely steals the film
Yeah.
and is phenomenal in it. But obviously, because Sicario, yes, it's a bit artsy. I guess it's a bit slow.
Yeah.
It's not a traditional summer blockbuster or a heavy action. But I feel like it is too actiony still for the Oscars to take seriously. So that's why I didn't put it in my will category. But for me personally, I think Benicio did it great, just playing really subtle, calm throughout, and anger when it needed to be. Performance.
Yeah, I guess. I didn't like Sicario as much as you know, but no, I don't see it. I don't even see him getting a nomination, to be honest.
He won't, no.
Oh,
but
good.
He got a nomination from me, so
Right.
there you go, Benicio. Don't say I don't do you anything.
Okay, will win. Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
I haven't seen this film, but I'm sure it'll be Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies.
Interesting choice. You see, this shows how wide this category is. He didn't even cross my mind when I was
Really?
considering it, yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay, why?
Why? Well, if you're in a film with Tom Hanks, directed by Steven Spielberg, about spies, the Oscars love that, alright? They love that kind of thing.
Right.
So, but when I was going through my list, I was like, the Oscars, I feel this year are going to be, spacing out the awards they're giving it to loads of different people, and I think a way to, say, you know what, Stephen, well done.
Good job, buddy. We're giving it to someone that isn't you.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it may still get a nomination for Best Picture, and I think this year they're going to have to increase the category from.
They're
10.
talking about decreasing it, actually, back down to 5, yeah.
It'd be great if they did it to 5, but
All right.
I wouldn't want to make that decision.
Yeah.
Picking the top 10 of the year was tough as
Oh man, it killed me.
Yeah.
He was good in it actually, and I do like Mark Rylance in everything I've seen him in. He has been like a character actor and British character actor forever, since long before I was born.
Yeah.
And it'd be good to see him get honoured. I don't see it. I feel like the film didn't make enough of an impact financially or critically or culturally.
I think it does in the industry.
Oh, with old white men.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the people that are in the Oscars would have seen it because it's Steven Spielberg, and you're like, well, he's A-class director.
It's not like saying to the Academy, "Oh, come and see this film. It's the 4th Mad Max film."
Yeah.
Like it's saying, "Come and see this Steven Spielberg film about spies during the Cold War." They're like, "I remember the Cold War." All right, my pick, Paul Dano for Love and Mercy. Now, Love and Mercy was pretty good. He was by far the standout, and he is, in all regards, the lead actor in it. I think it's just one of those cases of, well, him and John Cusack have equal screen time, pretty much.
Yeah.
But this is one of those times where it's easier to push the actor who is less well known for the supporting role.
Yeah.
The reason I pick him, first of all, he was really good, but he has won a bunch of awards in the lead up to the Oscars. The ones that already happened that are really minor, even though they're incredibly prestigious, but they're so minor I don't even know what they are, and I'm the one talking about them. He's pretty much been winning consistently in those awards.
Okay.
And yeah, it would be good for his career.
It would be a good move for his career, but does the Oscar care about that?
No, they don't. But I still think
do they care about giving nods to actors who have worked in the industry for a long time and probably won't have another major, high-profile role as this, like Mark Rylance? No,
he's in the BFG next year.
Okay,
but that's much more significant than Bridge of Spies.
That's not Oscar, is it? That might be.
You never know. Could win Best Original Song.
Moving on.
Right.
What else is not so significant? Actors.
Sure.
Best actor.
Okay.
Who should win, Todd?
Should win. I've been going on this same track. You can probably already guess. It's Michael Fassbender for Jobs.
Oh, I thought it'd be before Macbeth. But yeah. Go on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically everything I said about Jeff Daniels, that again for Michael Fassbender, but maybe even more. He
for taking it on,
Yeah, exactly.
That film was almost as bad as Fantastic Four for
production issues. Except they turned out an amazing film.
How did that happen? But yeah. And then Michael Fassbender, he wasn't the first choice.
Yeah.
Wasn't the second choice. No. I don't even know what number choice he was. He might have been 6.
He was double digits, mate.
Yeah, he was double digits, and he was like, "Well, yeah, I've got a couple of months free. Yeah, why not?" Yeah. Jumps on it, and then
I'll do you this favour.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know what? I got nothing else going on.
Yeah, and he was just it felt like a play. Like when even though I don't like plays as much as films, hence why this isn't third act plays.
Okay, great.
When you see an amazing performance from a lead actor in a play, you're like, oh, he completely carried it. The whole thing rests on him, and it was like that in Jobs. There was barely any shots that didn't have him in, and he turned this real life horrible human into somebody you sympathised with.
Yeah.
And but at the start, you were like, oh, who would ever want to be Steve Jobs' friend? And then at the end, I was like, Steve, aww. And that is largely part to him, and the writing, obviously, but he, a bad actor can ruin good writing.
Yeah.
And anyway, your pick.
For should will be Matt Damon for The Martian for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I was a bit harsh with the film. I want to apologise.
You weren't a bit harsh with the film. You loved it.
I was harsh after I'd first seen it, and I want to say sorry to you, Matt Damon. You're listening.
If you're listening from Mars, Mr. Watney.
I just want to. Yeah, I was a bit harsh at it first, and then I watched it 3-4 more times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he really does carry this whole film. A lot of it, you have to like the lead character in this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kind of actor roles, especially how I picked them, was to be like, okay, if you took that actor out of the film and put another actor in, would it have worked as well? You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, if you put Daniel Day-Lewis in any film, put him in Ex Machina as Alicia Vikander, and I would be like, wow.
Not only was I attracted to him, right? But there are only like a handful of actors.
There's only a handful of actors
been Mark Watney,
who could have played that role. Probably Will Smith, just because he's done it before.
No,
would have been weird. No,
he wouldn't have been a good Mark Watney.
I can't even. Yeah, actually, I can't think of a serious suggestion. But I just felt like he was like perfect for the role. Loved him as a person. Loved his character, and it helped because that's the whole point. Is a man trapped on Mars. Moving on to Will.
Okay.
Who will win Best Actor?
Okay, this one's kind of out there, and this is sort of a bit of should. I'm not very certain of this pick, but I would really like it if this happened. Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, I've picked the exact same thing. He's winning.
Literally, the only thing working against him is that he won last year.
Yeah.
If he didn't win last year, I think he would be a shoo-in. And I'd love to see somebody win 2 years in a row. And do you know how significant that would be?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it must have happened.
I think Tom Hanks did it.
Yeah.
I think this is the big thing that everyone always, like, he did it for Philadelphia and Forrest Gump or something like that.
Okay.
But to have him, like, wow, wouldn't that be amazing?
But, you look at the rest of the candidates, Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's not going to win. For the
everyone wants him to win.
It's too genre for him to win, I feel like.
I see Eddie Redmayne has transformed the most and has thrown himself the most into his roles.
He looks like a woman.
Yeah,
he looks like Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. He throws himself into these roles, there's not really a tie between the two. Like there's not a link between the Fear of Everything and this. It's
no, you're right.
Yeah, it's like you
it's
just
not like I'll just go to the same place I did when I was Stephen Hawking.
He's not cashing it in. It's not like I can't think of an. It's like when Al Pacino does a mafia film. He's like, I've got this in the bag. This is dead easy. I know what I'm doing. He's thrown himself in. He's still a young actor, and he's still trying these new films, and they're working, and he's killing it. And he's gonna get the Oscar again.
I'd love it if he did.
I cannot see who else could.
To be honest,
I know there's a few stars in Spotlight, which we may talk about later. But
no, maybe right.
There's a few guys in Spotlight who may I feel like will get nominations. I'm not sure if they'll win. I haven't seen Spotlight yet, but Anyway, moving on.
Right.
Probably the most important one I think this year, Best Actress.
It's funny because this is a really good category, but I struggle to pick a stand. Well, no, actually, I think I've got Will Win in the bag, and I'm almost certain you'll have the same one.
Okay.
So for Should Win, I'll go first.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to say this wrong name, doing what's formerly known as a James.
Wow.
Saoirse Ronan.
That's our thing. We say things wrong.
No, that's your thing. My thing is getting annoyed when you say things wrong.
Right,
okay. Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. What a surprise Brooklyn was.
Saoirse Ronan, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't correct you. No way, I do. Yeah, I can't believe how much I like this film.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer and I was like, ugh.
It does look
Twilight. God, yeah. It's just Twilight. But
two men, I can't decide.
Yeah, but it's not that at all. And
the accent's thick in that, like the Irish. Is it thick?
Kind of. I understood them all, if that's what you mean. Yeah. But they're definitely like legit Irish. Okay. No, it's not like you're watching it wishing there were subtitles.
Yeah.
No, and it's definitely an Oscar-y kind of film. Like it's got all the hallmarks of like well shot. It's a period drama.
I'm gonna have to watch this, aren't
I? I think you might like it. I can't believe I'm recommending a romantic film to you.
You always recommend a romantic
film.
No,
I don't.
All right, moving on.
Right.
So that was your should.
That was my should, yeah.
For my should is, I've got a little theme going on, a lot of action films here. I think I've given the ball away there. Charlize Theron for Mad Max as Feminosa.
I disagree. Furiosa.
Feminosa.
Right.
Well, that was...
Okay,
yeah.
Convince me.
Convince you?
Because I completely disagree with you.
Convince you. Okay. She, again, as a lot of these picks I went through, I was like, okay, take this person out. Who would you put in? I literally couldn't think of anyone else to replace. Maybe Jessica Chastain.
Emily Blunt.
Maybe Emily Blunt. But I still feel as though that she would have done it better than both. That she is able to take control of a film and to be the lead in the film and to really carry it through.
Yeah, but there's a difference between no one else could play this role and does this deserve an Oscar? Like, look at School of Rock. No one else could play Jack Black's character in School of Rock. Literally no one, apart from maybe me. That doesn't mean it's Oscar worthy.
I'm not saying that. I do think Mad Max is Oscar worthy.
For sure.
It's a reminder to all of these new directors out there on how to do action, of how to do camera work, of how to show more than what you tell. There wasn't how much dialogue was in that film.
Like 2 pages.
You can watch the film I've said this before. I've said all of this before. You can watch the film in silent. The amount of times, like it's the smaller stuff as well. Like you're watching a bike go across the screen, and then the screen cuts, and where the bike left off, something from that point, so the top left of your screen, then something happens there that drags your eyes across there, and you're following it with your eyes, and it's all done unconsciously, subconsciously,
unconsciously.
Just laying there.
That's why you enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
No, I love Mad Max. I think it will. Well, I hope it'll win visual effects or something like that.
I think
Charlize Theron was excellent, but when I think about that role, it doesn't have the meat or the weighty meat that some of these other roles have. Like the one that we're both definitely picking for this.
Yeah.
Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kate
Brie
Blanchett.
Larson for Room. Wow. That didn't go as well as I'd imagined.
Kate Blanchett for Carol.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen Carol, but it's Kate Blanchett. So what are you messing?
Right. It's not going to be Carol because, as I said earlier,
you didn't like the film, but you're also not voting for the Oscars. To be honest,
not this year.
Can we rewind to, was it 2 years ago with 12 Years a Slave, when most people voted for that without seeing it?
That's awful.
This is exactly the same. This is about a touchy subject with an an actress who is probably won an Oscar. And
she won it 2 years ago, I think, for Blue Jasmine.
Yeah. And you feel so, she can win another, If I'm picking out of a list of a bunch of films I haven't seen, I'm picking Kate Blanchett. That's what you do when you're in the Oscars.
Right. No doubt she's good enough to win Oscars.
Yeah.
The reason she won with Blue Jasmine is because that year was CAC for a lead actor. Yeah. First of all, I don't think her performance was anything special. I actually think she played it wrong in that film, which is, it's lucky I'm not voting because she'd be for it. But I don't see it winning. Like I said earlier, I see the awards this year being very, very spread out. And I think if Carol's going to get any, it's going to be supporting actress. Brie Larson. I can't believe you haven't picked this, because this is, by all accounts, odds-on favourite for any award this year.
Yeah. I haven't actually picked... it's for a film, Room. I haven't actually picked Room for any of the categories. But I feel as though she has been ignored. She did a couple of other films where she was excellent in, and she does a couple of cameos here. It's like she was in Trainwreck for a bit. Is that right? She plays his sister.
Maybe.
Yeah. She's done a few roles here and there. She's done some excellent roles in smaller indie films, but on the Oscars level, it's just that she does these really great roles, but she's the only person who's really good in the film, and there's no one else. Like, okay, so she was in Carol, she played Rooney Mara's role.
Mara.
Anyway,
right.
If she was playing that role, then I feel as though everyone's paying attention because it's Kate Blanchett, and they're like, have you seen this Brie Larson girl? Like, she's like really good.
Right.
But that's kind of. I don't.
You're so wrong.
You need prestigious people surrounding each other, and then someone to be really good out of that group, out of that mess.
But I feel like that's what's happened with Room.
Yeah.
I mean, I should be clear, I haven't seen Room yet.
Yeah, never.
At the time we're kind of recording this before quite a few films have come out in the UK.
Yeah.
But Room is definitely going to win something. It's the topic. Imagine seeing the world for the first time. It's a Oscar winning topic for sure, and she is, by all accounts, except ours, obviously, yours rather. Odds on to win it. I'm really shocked you didn't pick her, actually.
Right, moving on.
Yeah.
Director.
Yes.
Okay, so who would you like to win for Best Director?
I'm going to be... anyone listening is going to be getting bored now.
Yeah.
Because you know which film I'm going to pick.
You're not?
Yeah, it's Danny Boyle for Steve Jobs.
Oh, right.
What did you think I was going to go for?
I thought you were going to go with Eddie Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne, well done on your direction.
Well done.
No. Yeah. I mean, I've spoken about Steve Jobs enough to know, but it's one of those things where every single choice was spot on.
Yeah.
Everything from filming it with 3 different kinds of cameras to represent the different time periods. The director to get those performances out of I mean, admittedly, he had pretty damn good actors to work with, but still to get them, everything about it, the tension built from set in real time, the tension there, built at a product launch for an Apple product. I'm not tense about that.
No.
It's not like, oh, what's going to happen? I know the product launch. I know exactly how it ends. I knew everything about it, and I was getting nervous and sweaty. He just completely nailed everything about it. But I've spoken about that film enough. Go.
I think you liked that film, don't you?
It was fine. Yeah, it was okay.
A film I've mentioned as well, I think it's director of Ex Machina, Alex Garland.
Right.
Picking him because it was...
Damn, that's a good choice. I should have thought of that. I should have really thought of that.
Because he made a precise film. It was his debut as well. It would be so sweet.
Debut.
It would be so sweet if he got that on top. And I think he's also built cred for himself. But the main reason I don't think he's going to win... One, I know they say it doesn't matter, but it does. But for me, I feel it does. That the film was released earlier in the year.
Yeah, true.
A lot of people say, well, obviously they just watch them all again. Like they don't watch all the films. Most of these people who vote haven't seen the films. They were like, oh, I've seen a couple of ones I wanted to, but
it's also a sexy robot film.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
As much as don't get me wrong, I love sexy robots, but that does work against it in the Oscars.
Yeah. I just think great debut, spot on film, not a second wasted.
Even if he got a nomination, I'd be actually over the moon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Before we move on as well, I do want to say, oh my god, I've forgotten his name. George Miller.
Okay, yeah,
George Miller won. Well, I would.
Happy Feet. What?
Yeah. I'd
redo the trailers.
Big in the City.
Oscar award-winning director
for the Academy Award-winning director of Mad Max Fury Road. Happy Feet 3.
Yeah,
I would love it.
For Will, I think we may have the same answer for this one.
Should we try and say it on 3 again? Or
1, 2, 3. David O. Russell, Joy.
No. I've gone for Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. You think David O. Russell's going to win for Joy?
Yeah.
You're mad, mate. Why?
Why? Because it's David O. Russell and they love him.
No, they don't.
What do we know they don't?
They
have you heard of Silver Linings Playbook?
Did he win for that?
Yeah. He did. Well, he didn't win director, but they won everything else pretty much.
But he has... This is all hearsay. I don't know him personally. He has a reputation for being a horrible person. If you do that, if you have a reputation for being difficult or not liking awards, they're not going to vote for you. Look at Joaquin Phoenix. How many Oscars should he have? 6-ish?
Yeah.
And yet, because he is like, oh, awards, I hate them. Oh, I'm so brooding and being a rapper. He doesn't win them.
Okay.
And I feel like David O. Russell for Joy. And also, I haven't seen Joy. I think you have.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
Yeah, but it's Oscar good.
It's Oscar good. Oh, I hate Oscar good.
There's a difference. But okay, your Will.
Right, Tom McCarthy for Spotlight.
Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. Okay, yeah. I do think if any film is going to rack up a bunch...
Yeah, it's Spotlight.
It's going to be Spotlight, yeah.
The only thing working against Spotlight, and not meaning to generalise the Academy as old white Catholic men, but...
Hey, there's some Jews in there too.
You're right. Shalom. That I think it might be slightly too risque and a bit too close to home. Risque? Did I just say that?
Yeah.
Twice. And I think, again, I keep saying this over and over again, awards going to spread around. Spotlight seems, that seems like an obvious place for it to pick up an award.
All right, now to the big one.
Oh, man.
Best Picture.
You're not going to be happy with me.
Who do you think should win Best Picture?
Why don't you say what my pick is?
Because you should.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Steve Jobs?
Yeah, Steve Jobs.
Hell, man?
I'm not even going to talk about it. You don't understand how much I like this film.
I think you liked it, yeah. You've
it
just
was
voted it for
film. I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. Just go. You. Who should win?
Because I actually do think for supporting actress, now I've done a bit more thinking and my kind of category was I did it as a joke.
Right.
I'm thinking Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, yes.
Steve Jobs. Anyway, moving on.
Right.
For my should, Mad Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you were like, what, should we even be nominated? I was like, shut up.
Shut up,
I think it was great. I think it is a standout in a genre Okay, so what other contenders you have? You've got like Danish Girl, this and that and that. They're all really good dramas, but do any of them reinvent what a drama is?
I feel like the film that will be remembered from this year as a standout piece of cinema is Mad Max.
Yeah.
Sorry, Star Wars 7. I feel like more than that, the individual
you think Star Wars
film...
get a nomination?
Oh, God, no. Doesn't deserve it. For Best Picture, I think it might, and that is a real shame because it really doesn't deserve it.
Oh, wow. Anyway, moving on. Now, who do you think will?
I've gone exactly the same as my last choice, Spotlight.
Yeah, Spotlight. Well. Why did we... With the amount of times we got it the same, we didn't stick it up.
Yeah. Basically for all the reasons I said for director, I feel like
it's just got that ensemble cast. You've got a great director. You've got about a touchy subject.
Yeah,
and if you haven't seen the film, if you haven't seen the film, like a lot of them do, you're voting Spotlight for Best Picture.
Yeah,
you're like, I like Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, everyone likes. Just put him in your film. You're a shoo-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that, like you said, it's that film where some Oscar-y films people come away saying, oh, wasn't that actor great? Or wasn't that idea nice? Spotlight is one of those films where people praise everything about it, constantly. No one's like, oh, it was let down by...
Blah.
Maybe some, religious people say that. Yeah. It was let down by the lies they spun.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
Great actors. Blah 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 blah.
This is All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. That's our kind of picks for it. Who we think should and who will. If you guys want to share with us, just for the 6, because there's quite a lot of categories.
Yeah.
Just for those 6 categories, your choices. That'd be great. We love reading through them. I've been James Forbes,
and I've been Todd James.
Bye.
Big stuff in Transformers that is all kind of swept under the rug because Dinobots.
You don't want to be rained by fire. And it's...
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh no, it's raining. like, oh no, my powers. Yeah.